Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have another recipe video for you guys, but I said on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm gonna start vlogging because Derek and I have a lot of stuff that's happening in our life that's like gonna be some big changes in the next few months, maybe like 6 months, and it's just gonna be easier for me if I can just vlog on this channel. I also just want to mention before I jump into the recipes for today, Kiki and I's Eat More Way Less program is still 70% off. You guys can join anytime. I will leave the link down below for that. If you don't want to get the whole program as well, you can just get the Lean for Life book. There's a lot of information in there where, you know, we cover calorie density and all the things you need to know to lose weight on a plant-based diet. It's different than our own personal books. So if you want like different information on all that kind of stuff, pretty in depth, plus like it's all the recipes in that book are geared towards weight loss, and it kind of shows you how to like structure your day and your meals to lose weight. So the book is also available. You don't have to sign up for the whole course, but I'll leave all that stuff down below for you guys, and all the recipes in this video will also be down below for you guys. And that is it. That's all I have to say. Let's just jump into the recipes. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. Let's get into it. Easy, cheesy taco bake that I love making recently, and I've been just kind of using whatever I have on hand. So I have a bunch of sweet potatoes and I have a bunch of normal potatoes, but you'll want to use about 6 potatoes. I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees right now as well. So the main thing with this is you're just gonna wanna make sure that all of the little chunks of potatoes are the same size. Had to get a bigger knife, that one was so tiny. So if some are smaller, that's fine, but relatively you're just gonna want all of the big chunks to be roughly the same size so that they cook evenly. And then I have this massive zucchini. I'm actually just gonna use a little bit of this. I'm gonna cut the seeds out because when they tend to get this big, the seeds get like massive. Yeah, you don't really want to eat the seeds on these huge ones because they're pretty bitter, but the outside is, you know, just a squash, so it has a lot of nutrients and stuff in it. And this just kind of bulks out the meal a bit more with some low calorie dense vegetables, but you don't have to add this if you don't want to. So we have our big mix here. I have some, this is a little bit more zucchini, onion, and a bunch of bell pepper that I didn't use up. So another thing I like to do is I'll just chop up extra veggies and then I'll throw them in the freezer. And I also do that with beans. So I've been cooking basically all of my beans from scratch lately because I went crazy at one point and bought like a ton of dry beans, and then I just need to use them up. And I find that they taste a lot better when they're from fresh. So what I'll do is I'll make a huge pot of pinto beans or black beans or whatever, and then I'll put a bunch in a container like this and just put it in the freezer so that I can add it to meals. But if you're using canned beans, you could use, I would just use a whole can. And then I'm gonna add in the spices. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of chili powder. And then I'm gonna do half a tablespoon of cumin and smoked paprika. And then I'm gonna do about half a teaspoon of garlic salt, but you could just use regular salt as well. And about half a cup of nutritional yeast. So this is what's gonna make it cheesy. I have to be really careful when I mix this up. So you just wanna mix this as carefully as you can. You could do this in a big bowl. Something I actually like about these containers is they come with a lid. I can link these below for you guys. But it kind of makes it easy because then you can just put the lid on and shake it. And then the last thing I'm going to add to this is some fire roasted corn. I got this from Whole Foods. So you want to just add about, I mean, all the measurements for this are like, use whatever you like, but I just add about a cup. And then for some extra flavor, I'm just gonna add in about a 1/4 cup of salsa. This is just from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna cover this with aluminum foil and bake this So I've had this in the oven for about an hour, and you'll just want to check and make sure the potatoes are soft. Once the potatoes are soft, it's cooked all the way, and it just will kind of depend on your oven and a bunch of different factors, but this looks good to me. All the potatoes are really soft. So I like to keep it really simple, and I usually will just use a little bit of green onion and some hot sauce. My favorite hot sauces are these ones by Siete. This one doesn't have any oil in it. It's just the Chipotle hot sauce. So it's really delicious and oil-free. And then I like to put avocado on top. So I have this half of avocado left, and I'm just gonna top it with this. Super easy. I have about, I would say this is like a third of the bake, so I have 2 more servings left, or 3 if I really want to stretch it. Like you guys know, I eat a lot of food at one time, so that's like the biggest thing people say about the portions in my meal plan membership. Don't fear big portions. This food is very low in calorie density. Even avocados are under 750 calories per pound, so this is the whole point of eating a whole foods plant-based diet, is to be able to eat larger portions of lower calorie dense food to fill you up and satiate you. I like to add a little bit of fat to my meals, or at least some of my meals, because I feel like it does help with satiation a lot. And also having like beans and protein in your meals can help with that a lot as well. So if you're finding that you're like hungry after your meals, add more protein, more beans, more tofu, and more whole fats. My favorite fats are tofu and avocado because they're lowest in calorie density, but I find when I have tofu or avocado within my day, it keeps me a lot more satiated, especially when I'm having beans as well. So you're gonna wanna get 3 separate meal prep containers and fill those with lettuce. And then we're gonna add in some quinoa and roasted chickpeas. I'll leave in the description how I made these. And then I add in a bunch of grilled veggies. I just grill these on my grill pan on my stovetop over high heat, and I add a little bit of garlic salt. And then for the dressing, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of tahini, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of maple syrup, the juice of 1/2 a lemon, and I like to put some red chili flakes in it for spice. Mix that all together, and then if you want to thin it out a bit, you can add in some water. I like to make it pretty thin. And then when you're ready to eat, just drizzle the sauce over it, and you have this delicious curried chickpea and quinoa bowl. This next meal, I'm gonna make a really simple veggie kind of mix. And I'm going to cook some potatoes in the air fryer, and then I'm going to use a can of these baked beans as well on the side. I love having baked beans on the side because it just gives it a lot of flavor. These do have a little bit of sugar, but the ingredients are really simple. It's just white beans, sugar, onion, tomato paste, salt, vinegar, maple syrup, brown rice flour, and it's all organic. So I really like this brand of baked beans. It's vegan, obviously. So first I'm going to get my potatoes going. I have 5 potatoes here. This is like usually what I would eat as a serving, 5 little red potatoes. And then I'm gonna use this spice. I got this at Trader Joe's. It's just a spice blend with chili peppers, coriander, fenugreek, minced garlic, salt, and marigold. Chop them into wedges or fry shapes. So I'm just gonna generously season these. If you want as well, you could use a little bit of avocado oil spray, which will get them really crispy. You only need a tiny bit. I do that sometimes. Usually when I use russet potatoes, I'll do that because, like I said, they get really dry. I'm gonna pop these in the air fryer, like I said, for 400 for about 15 minutes. I might have to do 20, but I'll see how they come out after 15. So I'm gonna chop up all my veggies, and then I'm just gonna use a little bit of salt on these. And I'm just going to dry fry them, or like saute them basically in the pan. I just don't want to talk a lot because it's going to be annoying with the air fryer in the background, but I'm going to chop these up, and then at the very end before they're done, I'll add in my beans, and then I'll assemble it all in a bowl. So my potatoes are done. You can see how they got nice and crispy. So here's my delicious meal. I got my 50-50 plate with my veggies and my potatoes. and then a side of baked beans for some protein. And just, I love these baked beans, they're so delicious. So that is another simple meal that you guys can make. This took me only 15 minutes to make, as long as it took to make the potatoes. Yeah, it doesn't have to be complicated. You can make things as easy or as sophisticated as you want, but this is one of my go-to meals lately. And I just love the combo of the filling veggies, the potatoes, and the beans for protein.